Hello everyone. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to calculate the concentration. It's concentration of anything, but in this particular video, we're going to calculate the concentration of an acid. So here, we're given a statement that 19 grams of sulfuric acid, H2SO4, is sulfuric acid, is dissolved in enough water to make a 2000 centimeter cubed solution. Okay, the first thing that you must look for, you remember in the lower grade that number of moles is equals to mass over molar mass. But the formula for concentration is equals to number of moles per volume. But you can't use this formula to calculate concentration in this question because you are given grams, not number of moles. So you have to use this formula first before you can use this one. Okay, for us to be able to calculate the number of moles that we're going to use to calculate the concentration, we need the mass, which we are given is 19 grams, and the molar mass. Molar mass for sulfuric acid, H2SO4. When you look at your periodic table, hydrogen is 1, so it's 1. But when you look at the hydrogen, there are 2 of them. There's H2SO4, so it's 1 times 2, plus sulfur. In your periodic table, the molar mass for sulfur is 32. And then plus, the molar mass for hydrogen is 16, but there are 4 of them. It's H2SO4, so that will be multiplied by 4. And then, when you punch that in your calculator, you get 98. So the molar mass of sulfuric acid, H2SO4, is 98. So this is what we're going to use in our formula. Now, the number of moles is equals to mass is grams. We have given there is 19 over molar mass we have calculated is 98. So it means the number of moles of sulfuric acid is 0.2 moles. You need to write the units. The unit is moles. You need to write that. No units, no mass. Now, concentration is equals to number of moles per volume. Oh yes, we have a problem with our volume. You see, our volume is given as 2000 centimeter cube. The unit for volume is decimeter cube. You can't use it as centimeter cube. You have to convert it first. So volume is equals to 2000 divided by 1000. When you convert centimeter cubes to decimeter cubes, you divide by 1000. Also, milliliters also are the same as centimeter cube. So when you get milliliters in a question, you also divide it by 1000, like you would do the centimeters. So if you divide that, you get 2 decimeter cube. You can't use centimeters, it's not the right unit. You have to convert it first. Okay, so our number of moles is 0.2 divided by 2, and then our answer is 0.1 mole per decimeter cube. This is the unit for concentration. Okay, let's look at number 2. They say write down a balanced equation of the complete ionization of sulfuric acid in water. When you remember in our previous lesson that when an acid reacts with water, it ionizes, meaning that it will form ions, and then it will form ions reacting with the water. So this is our number 2, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, and reacting with water, H2O. It ionizes, meaning that it forms ion. Which ion does it form? It will form hydronium ion, H3O+, and it will form HSO4-. 1 hydrogen from the sulfuric acid ionized with water to form an hydronium ion. But now, when we are dealing with sulfuric acid, it has 2 protons. It's not like hydrochloric acid where it has 1, where it ionizes like once. This one, it will ionize twice. What will happen? You'll have this reaction again where the HSO4 reacting with water, but this will not, I'll show you. You'll get a, and then SO4 minus 2. Now, this has lost 2 protons, meaning that it has lost 2 hydrogen ion. That's why the charge is -2. Now, let's write the overall one. H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid reacting with water, will form hydronium ion and sulfate ion, 2 minus. So you don't write this in your exam. This I was just showing you. You write is that one, and then it will react to form this, right? So you need to balance. So when you look at this, you needed 2 hydrogen ions. So you'll have a 2 here, and you formed 2 hydronium ion. Then you'll have a 2 there, right? You remember the question says write down a balanced equation of the complete ionization of sulfuric acid in water. So this is the complete ionization where your sulfate ions doesn't have an hydrogen. When you are still here on this one, it's not yet complete because this sulfate ion still has a hydrogen ion, which is a proton. So this one doesn't have a proton anymore. This is a complete one. But you also need to balance it. It's very important to balance. You'll see with the next question, the balancing, that's what gives you the next answer. Okay. 3 says calculate the concentration of the hydronium ion. You remember the square bracket means concentration. So it's concentration of the hydronium ion and the sulfate ion. Now, you can't calculate. They did not give you the mass. They did not give you the number of moles. When you get a question like that in any section of chemistry where you are not given any information about the two, it means you are using the molar ratio. When you remember in question 1, we calculated the concentration of sulfuric acid. You remember on question 1, we got concentration of sulfuric acid was 0.1 mole per decimeter cube. Now we're going to use the molar ratio to calculate for the other ones. So the number of moles here, you look at the coefficient of that molecule. So here we have a 1, here we have a 2, here we have a 2, here we have a 1. So the molar ratio is 1 sulfuric acid will react with 2 water molecules to form 2 hydronium ions and 1 sulfate ion. So this is the molar ratio that you use. So the first concentration that they ask us is the hydronium ion. Okay, what is the molar ratio? 1 for sulfuric acid, which is this, is twice that one. So we're going to take that and multiply it by 2. Then we'll get the concentration of the hydronium ion. Getting it from where? From the balanced equation and using the molar ratio. So you're going to have 0.1 times 2, which will be 0.2 moles per decimeter cube. And the sulfate ion. The concentration of the sulfate ion SO4 2 minus. Back to the molar ratio. I have this, the sulfuric acid, the concentration is 0.1, and the molar ratio of sulfuric acid and sulfate ion is 1:1. So it means the sulfate ion concentration will be the same as the concentration of sulfuric acid. So the concentration for sulfate ion is 0.1 mole per decimeter cube. So this is not only when you are dealing with acid, any question in chemistry where you are not given one of the molecules and you are asked the concentration. What you do, you calculate the one that you have, balance the equation, use the molar ratio to get the concentration of the ones that you are not given. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching.